bugs. They outnumber us by 200 million to 1, and they are likely to outsurvive us. Their ranks are legion, and yet thousands can act out a single deadly purpose. In their diversity, insects and their relatives have evolved an array of weapons and a killing ingenuity unmatched in the animal kingdom. Creatures of infinite variety and ingenious design, these would-be inheritors of the earth prove anything but meek. Day breaks over the rainforest. In the natural hothouse of the Amazon basin, half of all the species on Earth greet the new day. Living things, drawn always to warmth and water, thrive here amidst a self-sustaining supply of both. This lush paradise is home to creatures barely known and thousands more that wait to be discovered. More animals vie for territory here than anywhere else on Earth. With so much life per square foot, this evolutionary boiling pot has given rise to a bizarre escalation of the arms race between predator and prey. The deadly, the deceptive thrive here in abundance, and those who venture unaware through this teeming world do so at great risk. For survival in the crawling kingdom favors the cautious and the quick. By their numbers alone, the ants are the most successful animals on the planet. Some 10,000 trillion of them inhabit the Earth, tireless runners pursuing their urgent errands. Among their ranks are tradesmen and thieves, craftsmen and carpenters, and industrious farmers. Their rigid societies also can include hunters and gatherers, slaves and slave masters. Among the most communal of all living creatures, they live and work in colonies that may number 20 million strong. No other living things have achieved such a rigorous division of labor, and their elaborate caste system, as yet not perfectly understood, bends those millions to a singular will. Rivaling the swarms of locusts which lay waste to vast tracts of grassland and forest, the leafcutter ants consume more vegetation in the tropics than any other group of animals. Their industriousness inspired the ancients. Go to the ant, O sluggard, it is written in the book of Proverbs. Consider her ways and be wise. For without any chief, officer, or ruler, she prepares her food in summer and gathers her sustenance in harvest. Unknown to the prophets, the ants do have rulers, queens and their chemical commandments, driving them to harvest the bounty of the treetops and haul it away in neat portable packets. The moving mass behaves as one entity. For each million mouths, 6 million marching legs, all trained on a single, unswerving purpose: the survival of the species. The nests of the leafcutters often stretch unseen for more than an acre, great subterranean chambers secluded deep beneath the forest floor. In these hidden caverns, where sunlight never penetrates, the workers make their contributions to a giant compost heap, adding their leafy harvest to a growing mound of mulch. Here, in total darkness, specialized farmer ants cultivate a fungus that thrives upon the mulch. This fungus supplies the sole food of the tribe and the mother's milk of its offspring. The newborn ants will feed in these fungus gardens before taking their place as hardworking adults in the perilous world above. Though some feed on plants, many ants are confirmed flesh eaters, creatures for whom predation is a way of life. The giant hunting ant, at 1 inch in length, the monster of the ant world. But this monster has made the mistake of invading the domain of a clan of tree-dwelling Azteca ants, fierce warriors 1/10 its size. With painful bites and a foul spray excreted by special glands, the warriors disable the giant, rendering it defenseless. The wounds are not fatal, but the repellent of the Aztecas carries a sober warning. In the world of the ants, trespass on your neighbors at your risk. But some remain oblivious to the warning. For sheer appetite, few animals on Earth are the equal of the ants. Inconsequential on their own, the ants together take on frightening dimensions. And no clan instills more terror than the infamous army ants. Their instinct for plunder is legendary, and their tactics grimly efficient. Of all the wonders of the Amazon, there are few sights more chilling than this: a company of army ants on the move. Across living bridges built from the bodies of the workers, the armored legions swarm, their mission undeterred by any obstacle, their progress seemingly unstoppable. More than 1 million blind warriors form the vanguard of the force, following their noses to their prey. Like the Mongols and the Huns in human history, they are a nomadic army, almost always on the move. And when at night the horde stops to rest, 100,000 bodies form a living tent. Linked together in a chain, a mass of worker ants protects the multitude within, with the legs of each worker grasped in the jaws of another. In the innermost recesses of the bivouac, specialized servants attend to the needs of the queen and her offspring. They will rest here through the hours of darkness. Then, with the dawn, the insect army marches on, and no living creature, large or small, is safe from their attack. It is said in local legend that an army of these ants can dismember a hog in an hour, a horse in half a day. They devour their usual prey, grubs and other insects, in minutes. With their great hooked jaws, the soldier ants make quick work of any victim. And with relentless skill, they set about carving the still living prey into manageable pieces for transport back to the camp. Ruthless though the ants may seem, they are not invincible. In nature's scheme of checks and balances, even the dreaded army ants may find stiff opposition in the Aztecas. Here, the smaller ants hurl chemical weapons against the brute force of conventional armaments. On the battlefields where insect armies clash, evolution continuously updates the ancient arms race. Winning thrusts and parries may be etched on the next generation. These battles hone the tactical genes. But if the ants terrorize with their synchronized legions, there are those in the crawling kingdom who frighten quite sufficiently, one by one. Their webs are things of wonder, delicate, alluring, where an unsuspecting insect might venture. There are more than 40,000 species of spiders, all of them killers who dispatch their prey with doses of powerful poison. golden Nephilis spider has found a katydid in her web. She delivers the killing bite, and the potent enzymes in her saliva begin their work. Unable to swallow solids, she must liquefy her prey. Committed carnivores, all spiders are well suited to the hunt. Their sense of touch is acute, and most have 4 pairs of eyes, the better to see their prey. They are the wolves and the panthers, the vipers, the sharks, master predators of the micro-world. The aptly named wolf spider skulks on the forest floor, relying on its sharp eyesight to pursue, capture, and kill its insect prey. Like many spiders, the wolf spider shuns a web, preferring to lurk in the litter of pine needles and leaves until a potential victim happens its way. The green lynx spider has a similar ploy, waiting in the blossoms of flowers to ambush its prey. But it is the orb weavers that have won the spiders their reputation as artful hunters. A disturbance in the web alerts its owner. In the blink of an eye, she is on the luckless grasshopper, stunning it and wrapping it in a funeral shroud of silk. With her victim neatly packed and stowed away, the spider can retire. But she will return to feast upon her trophy at her leisure. By a woodland pond, a tiny grass spider falls prey to a jumping spider, a more powerful and agile predator. It is a drama endlessly repeated, for a single acre of grassland may harbor 2 million spiders. The grass spider is a formidable hunter, setting her gluey snares for midges and other small airborne travelers. Fastidiously, she drinks the liquid tissues of her prey. Then she moves on to kill again. Like a giant sieve, the web filters tiny flyers from the air, holding them captive until the owner of the web gets hungry. To locate her prey, the Nephila relies on the tufts of hair which adorn her legs, hairs that are sensitive to vibrations in the air and in her web. Her keen sense of touch is crucial to the Nephila's survival, as it is to all of the web builders. But in the micro-world where the webless spiders seek their prey, other powers are equally important. These are jumping spiders, the male on the right, the female on the left. Stimulated by the female's pheromones, the male performs an elaborate mating dance, seeking to seduce his would-be mate. She waits and watches. If she fails to recognize his courtship ritual, he could become her meal. Finally, she acknowledges his attentions and accepts his advances. After transferring a tiny web of sperm to her, he will beat a hasty retreat. A product of some 400 million years of evolution, a spider the size of a dinner plate stalks the Earth today. The one they call Aranio peluda, the bird-eating spider. A true giant of the spider world, Aranio is a close relative of the tarantula and one of the most primitive of all living spiders. Like the tarantula, it builds no web, preferring instead to stalk its prey. Through its fangs, the spider injects a deadly dose of a powerful neurotoxin, a poison strong enough to swiftly kill a small forest mammal or a nesting bird. While the enzymes of the spider's bite go to work digesting the tissues of its prey, the hunter withdraws, but it will soon return to feed. Seeking fresh frontiers to colonize, the giant spiders long ago adapted to a land of bone-dry winds and scorching sun. To some, it may seem a sinister place, and a fitting home for the great hairy-legged hunter, the desert tarantula. A grasshopper, careless enough to come within reach, makes suitable prey. Its struggles are soon over. The predator retires to dine at leisure in its den. But in nature, nearly every predator is another creature's prey. The tarantula hawk, a ground-dwelling wasp, is the nemesis of the desert tarantula. The wasp appropriates the spider's nest, but it's after more than the tarantula's home. The tiny wasp waits for its oversized victim. Numbed by the wasp's powerful sting, tarantula proves surprisingly vulnerable. The wasp maneuvers it onto its back, exposing its tender abdomen. It is here that the wasp administers a second paralyzing sting. Rendered defenseless, the spider is dragged back to its den, which will become its tomb. In the shadows within, the wasp will lay a single egg, and the grub that hatches from that egg will consume the spider alive. In the leafy woodlands of America, one of the most dreaded of all the members of the crawling kingdom makes its home. Here she strings her messy web, the red hourglass on her belly identifying her as the notorious black widow spider. Only the female of the species is dangerous, but she packs one of the most virulent animal poisons known to man, a toxin 15 times more potent than rattlesnake venom. Barely a millionth of an inch in diameter, each strand of the widow's web is stronger than spun steel of the same size, and its coating of glue will snare the unwary. Her legs detect a trembling in the web. A house cricket has stumbled into her trap. The strands of the web hold tight, rendering escape impossible. With her delicate legs, the widow pummels her prey, maneuvering it into position for the fatal bite. Injected at last with a lethal dose of nerve poison, the unlucky guest will go the way of the rest, hung up on a line to ferment into a protein-rich meal, later to be sucked dry. Though she is renowned as a huntress, one habit sets the widow apart from all the rest, her role as a femme fatale. Smaller by far than his consort, the male black widow heeds an urge that he cannot resist, the urge to procreate, regardless of the risk. He tweaks the web to signal his intentions. And she signals her acceptance. He approaches with caution, then sets to work, fulfilling his obligation. When the union is done, the chores of the male are complete, and he is free to go on his way, or at least so it would seem. Like the rest of her prey, he is packed up and stored away to make a meal for later. But his sacrifice will not be in vain. Soon after, in the shadows, his offspring will emerge. From the egg sac, tended by the widow, spill hundreds of baby spiders, each infant driven by the instinct to populate the world with black widows. Most are doomed to fail, for despite the care of their doting parent, few of the spiderlings will reach adulthood. As the black widow is famed for its mating habits, the diving spider is renowned for its choice of habitats. Equipped with her own scuba tank of air, Arguinetta, a diving spider, tends her brood in a hostile, watery realm, beneath the glassy surface of a tranquil woodland pond. It's an unconventional choice of a home for an air-breathing animal such as a spider. Like all spiders, the diver breathes through a vent in its abdomen. But it obtains the air from a diving bell, which it constructs of silk below the water's surface. By refilling its portable scuba tank from the diving bell, the diver is free to conduct all of its business underwater. It is, however, a life fraught with hazards. If the portable bubble should break through a mishap or an encounter with a rival, the diver may drown. During frequent forays to the surface, the diver picks up fresh bubbles of air to transport back to the bell. The task of maintaining the life support system is time-consuming and never-ending, but it is essential to the spider's survival. Fine hairs on the spider's abdomen trap the air and hold it to its body as it moves between the surface and the bottom of the pond. Like underwater astronauts, the divers inhabit an alien realm, deftly surviving on the brink of disaster. Curiously, the divers have retained the habit of spinning webs. Alight with tiny bubbles of air, they beckon, sprawling across the pond like some nighttime metropolis seen from the air. But her watery habitat has not submerged the spider's carnivorous ways. A damselfly nymph, fresh and succulent. along with their kin, the spiders, they claim dominion. Though found in nearly every corner of the globe, the bugs have flourished here in the tangled maze of the Amazon forest as nowhere else. It hosts a true menagerie of tiny monsters. Among them, the Histor beetle, a seeker of slimy places, of dung, and of decay. Other specialists include click beetles and wood borers, hunters of the hidden world beneath the bark of trees. A testament to the skills of the jungle hunters lies in the strange and ingenious ploys of the hunted, like this dragon-headed bug. Its lizard face discourages carnivorous cousins. For many in the insect world, deception proves the best defense. The whip scorpion, Mastigoproctus. Another ancient arthropod, heavily armed. It can disable other predators with a numbing spray of pure acetic acid. Silently, methodically, it stalks its prey. A 100 million years of evolution guide its attack. A grasshopper waits a moment too long to make its escape. It dies in the jaws of the predator. Armored for protection, a female elephant beetle stoops to drink from a forest pool. The reigning heavyweight of her class, she ambles off in search of rotting fruit, while a male of her species, equipped with horns for combat with others of his kind, patrols the tiny patch of forest which he claims as his domain. Like all insects, the elephant beetle wears his skeleton on his back, a tough cloak of hardened cuticle that guards him from the elements and shields him from attack. But he is not alone. With thousands of potential rivals vying for the same bit of forest, competition for resources is keen. The Hercules beetle, a behemoth by insect standards. Measuring more than 5 inches in length, It is the Triceratops of its kind. But danger plagues each step it takes. To a creature of its bulk, an accidental upset could prove fatal. And for every arsenal honed and hardened on the field of combat, nature has devised another, deadlier, more fit for battle, for survival. Titanus gigantea, one of the heftiest beetles in the world. With its sensitive antennae and its enormous multi-lensed eyes, it scans its world for news of danger or opportunity. The giant beetles are the elephants and rhinos of their realm. And when two rivals meet in a contest over turf, the micro-world hosts a battle of the titans. The combatants in these jousts rarely inflict fatal wounds on each other. Instead, each aims to flip its foe onto its back, for a beetle, its most vulnerable position. Death is inevitable for a contestant unable to right itself. Though a beetle may hoist an object 100 times its own weight, regaining its footing, once lost, can be a Herculean task. The survivor's reward? A small piece of this earth, on which it may feed and procreate. But peace is short-lived in the teeming insect world. A new challenger will soon emerge for each one dispatched. There is strength in numbers for each species, but long odds for the individual. And at day's end, the harsh and ancient mathematics of survival remain. As ever, only the fit and the fortunate inherit the keys to the crawling kingdom.